Milk. This is full-fat cow's milk. But what does milk and Vincent Van Gogh have in common? You can actually use milk as a fixative. You want to know how? Well, stay tuned, because that's coming up next. Yes, Vincent Van Gogh used to use milk, whole glasses of milk. He would tip all over his drawings and sketches, and the ingredient in milk that fixes your work is a bit like a plastic. And what we're going to do is just take a regular paintbrush and use undiluted milk, and we're going to dip the brush directly in. And this is a pencil drawing in my sketchbook that I did a few days ago. And I'm just painting the milk on. I will then use a heat gun, and you'll see a big difference. Now, usually you would put this in a spray bottle, and a company called Spectrafix sell this kind of formula with minus the milk. They've taken the ingredients out of the milk. The casein is what you're looking for, and they've put it into a spray bottle. But if you add just a bit of water to your milk and put it in a misting bottle, or a very fine spray, you get the same effect with no extra cost. It's not expensive, and it works because all that's left behind is the casein. The water and the fat all go away. They evaporate. And your paper starts to feel a little bit stronger as the casein is put on. So put that to one side and get the heat gun going to speed up the process. Now, if you were using charcoal, you'd have to do many sprays. You don't want to soak your drawing. You have to let it dry, spray again, let it dry, spray again, let it dry. And sometimes it can take up to 8 sprays of the milk mixture, but it still fixes your work. I've had work over 6 years old. There's no mold, there's no smell, there's no rottingness, because all that is left behind is the casein, and that's what we're looking for. It's a bit like a plastic, and it seals like a regular fixative. And here's a bit more information from the Vincent Van Gogh website. So I've just got a little bit of wetness left now, which we'll leave to dry naturally. But I don't know if you can see that there is a slight sheen on it now, because I didn't add water on purpose to show you that if you leave it undiluted, the milk, it will be gloss, a gloss fixative. Very cheap, a free fixative that is perfectly safe for all your artwork, because it's casein that is left behind, only casein. We turn over. and we'll put this on another pencil sketch. But this time I will dilute it ever so slightly to show you that you can have matte and gloss in one glass. So you would paint with your gloss first and then dilute it for your matte effect. I came across this when I was looking for non-toxic fixative. Hairspray is too expensive here, and we will now go into a time lapse. So now I'm going to be testing charcoal on some regular paper. I'm going to put it on very lightly, I'm going to write with it, and I'm going to also do a very thick powdery layer. Now the thick powdery layer, when using a paintbrush, will turn into paint. You could see how the whiteness vanished when I put the milk onto the thick black. So I'm going to start drying it with the heat gun, but then I'm finishing it off on the radiator because they happen to be on at the moment. Okay guys, so my charcoal test is on the radiator. These have come off the radiator and are dry. These are gouache that I have put my milk fixative over the top. And it's already dry, doesn't take long, and the gouache underneath did not get disturbed. It all depends on what you're using it for. So the pencil work is great. Charcoal is always awkward. You do need to have a spray bottle ideally, because when you do use a paintbrush it will disturb the media, the charcoal, the powder. It's very, very light. But I always use a paintbrush because I find any spray in a bottle really blocks up the spray holes, and you do need to have a fine spray. But just look at this. This is the matte effect, and remember, the more water you add to the milk, the more layers you'll have to put on because you're diluting the casing. But you can hardly see any shine on it at all. It might be a bit of a sheen depending, just ever so slightly. And remember, with a spray you'll have a smooth coating. When I've used my paintbrush I can see slight a blob or something here. So, and this is in my sketchbook. So if you're using it on a finished professional piece, you would use a spray bottle because you want an even coating. But I'm pretty pleased with how the milk works, to be honest, and it's non-toxic. It is great on top of here. I don't know if you can see that. There is a slight sheen, and it hasn't particularly disturbed the colour underneath. And I mean, this was just a test. I wouldn't use it on gouache normally because it's water soluble. but it was just a test. And now the charcoal, I'm hoping, will be dry any minute off the radiator. Almost done, just a little bit needs doing. But you can see, so far, it's been on the radiator for no more than 4 minutes. And we're already getting a coating here. So let me just see. If I rub, this is layer 1. If I rub gently, I've got no black on the side of my finger here. I don't know if you can see that. All here is where I rubbed with my finger, and there's no black. And that was on here. That was a very fine layer of the charcoal. So let's rub on here slightly. I can't see any black on me. Nope. Nothing. So let's see. This one is going to need another layer, I just know it, of the milk, or the casing. So let's gently put my finger there. Ah, there's no black on there at all around here. So that's very helpful. Rub a bit more. No more black. Oh, good. Because it also will depend on the paper you use. This is regular supermarket paper. It's like maybe just over 200 GSM. And let's try that one we've done. Let's try a letter that's drying. No, I just got a bit of milk on me because it's drying. So it's incredibly effective. And you can see here, you can see that there is a coating on top. But when you use it on all of your drawing, it's not going to be that visible. And also, if you add more water, just a bit more, I hardly put, considering how much milk was in here, I didn't put that much water. So it is all a trial and error. And I like that because you can get different variations of your fixative for different needs. I mean, I quite like the gloss effect, but the matte is okay if you would like an invisible fixative. You just add slight more water and have to do more layers. And it's non-toxic, it's safe, and it's in your fridge. And if Vincent Van Gogh used to use it, then it's perfectly good for me, I think. So I hope you found this video interesting and that you'll give it a try yourself. And I'd love to know how you get on with it. And you can get in touch with me over on Instagram, and the links are in my About page, or they'll be below. So check that out. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!